What is going on, people? Welcome back to another video, and behind me is my Mark 5 Golf GTI, which is nearly 20 years old. From the outside it doesn't look too bad, but from the inside that's a different story. Considering this is a GTI model, there is nothing on the interior to actually show that off, except for these seats, which we'll get into in a minute. In fact, the whole interior of this GTI only has one GTI logo, and it's down here, and it's not even in red. The interior of this GTI, apart from the seats, is basically the same as a normal Mark 5 Golf, which I think is unfair. So today we're going to fix that. Starting from the smallest and least exciting to the biggest and coolest, like this carbon fiber steering wheel. Throughout this video I'll be talking about where I got the parts from and how much I've paid for it, and all my experience on buying these parts, so make sure you're paying attention. Starting off with these seats, which I said we'll get into. Over the years of me getting in and out this driver's seat with my dirty work clothes on, these seats have become an absolute state. This is what they look like. And this is what they should look like. These seats have just lost all of its colour and there is staining absolutely everywhere. This is from the oil and dirt on my work clothes, so they need a deep clean. I have bought this fabric stain remover from Turtle Wax, and I've bought this soft brush attachment that fits on the end of a drill, so we're going to deep clean these seats. So I've made the seats a little bit damp with some water. It's time to get to work. So far I've only done this little patch here, and you can already notice a difference between that bit and that bit. And look at the state of the brush. That's after just one little patch on one seat. That brush was pure white just 2 minutes ago. I've also realised that this is going to take me absolutely ages, so I'm just going to crack on. And that's the driver's side seat, all done and clean. Obviously still a little bit damp, but I'll just let that dry. And just look at the difference now compared to earlier. I still need to do the passenger side, but the passenger side is nowhere near as bad as the driver's side was, so hopefully this won't take me too long. The driver's side only took me about half an hour. Both the front seats have finally been deep cleaned. Time to add the finishing touches. This GTI badge that sits right there. That's the second GTI logo that you see on the interior of this car, and the third one for the other side. These emblems cost me £13 from eBay. The next thing to be changed is this gear shift, because it's a manual GTI and this is just boring. I've bought this Mark 7 style gear shifter. It's leather, it's got red stitching, and the top of it is shaped like a golf ball. This thing only cost me about £10 on AliExpress. Right, I'm not too sure how you fit these, but I think this just pops up like that, and then you've got to open that clip out, and then the whole gear stick just slides out. Then you whack the new one on, you clamp that clip again and clip it in place. Job done. That's it. The new one goes on top like so, and then you just clamp that clip there and the job's done. And there it is, much better. Alright, this next item is a little bit strange. It wasn't really something to do with styling, but it's just something that I needed in the interior of this car, and that is a cheap armrest. This armrest cost me about 20 quid again on AliExpress, and to be honest with you, the quality of it looks pretty good, so let's fit it. Right, the idea for this armrest is that it's basically just meant to slot into this middle section like that, and then you push it all the way down and it slides forward, and essentially that's it. However, I'm going to go that one step further. I'm going to open the armrest up, I'm going to drill it into the ground so that I know it's not going to wobble, and I know it's not going to come loose or fall off or anything while I'm driving, and then it will just be more secure and 100 times better. Let's do that. Cool, so I opened the cheap armrest up, I slotted it into place, and I actually noticed already that it's come with 4 guide holes to let me drill 4 holes in just to secure it down. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. And that is properly secured down. That is not moving whatsoever. 4 screws in there, it's all the way down and it's firm. This next bit sits on top, and then 4 screws goes into that, and then we slide the armrest on. And that is it, it's all fitted. And I love the fact that the red stitching on the armrest matches the red stitching on the gear stick. Right, so that brings us to the last mod on the interior, the one that I'm looking forward to the most. And if you've come this far in the video, I'm guessing you're here for this part as well. And that is the carbon fiber steering wheel. Now, don't laugh at me, but I actually bought this steering wheel from AliExpress, and I was so hesitant to do so because you never know what you're buying on AliExpress, and it was £200. So I thought, you know what, this is either going to be an absolute bargain for a carbon fiber steering wheel, or I'm going to get ripped off and they're going to just send me something that's either really low quality or just something that I didn't ask for. I took the risk because I was so tempted, so I've done it. And I am really happy with the outcome because this carbon fiber steering wheel is in really good quality. It took about 2 months to show up, which is a little bit long, but it was definitely worth the wait. It was exactly £188. However, it did cost me about £21 for shipping, which is really cheap considering it had come from China. And it came properly shipped, full of bubble wrap, full of all proper packaging. And it didn't come with no damage, so I'm really happy. So £200, a little bit over £200 shipped. Right, I hope that answers everyone's questions. If you have any more questions, just drop me in the comments below. But it's time to do the long bit, fitting it. Let's start by disconnecting the battery, because when you're dealing with airbags, it's always safe to disconnect the battery first. So let's do that. The next step is to take the T25 screw that sits under here. Once you've taken that out, you can start to lift the top panel like so, take off the bottom bit. There's 2 screws, there's one here, and then you have to turn the steering wheel the other way and get the one on the other side. Now it's time to try and get the airbag out. There's got to turn the steering wheel 90 degrees, and then there's 2 latches behind it to pull the airbag out. Right, once you have the airbag popped out, you need a multi-spline 12, and that will pop into that bit there, and you take the bolt out. And pull it out like so. Grab the new one, make sure you don't move the clock spring around, and then line up the new one. Perfect. Once the new one's fitted, just put the bolt back in and repeat the process to box it all back up. And when you're done, you'll have something that looks a bit like this. I am loving this new steering wheel, but I think there's just one thing missing. To be honest with you, I'm not too sure how I feel about that GTI sticker. It does look a little bit tacky. I'll see if it grows on me, otherwise I might take it off later. Alright guys, and we are done. Let's do a quick recap. So, we have the AliExpress carbon fiber steering wheel, £200 shipped. We have a brand new gear stick with the red trim, £10 from AliExpress shipped. We have a brand new armrest with red stitching again from AliExpress, £20 shipped. And we have deep cleaned the seats so that they look brand new, and we have added these little GTI emblems. Alright guys, that's it for me today. If this video helped you out, make sure you smash that like button, and if you want to see more videos like this, make sure you hit subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.
I've been in my bag, boy, she get it up. Your bitch keep talking to me, she said she can't get enough. I pulled up in the